Definitely.
There is a double standard. Trust me.
Oh, speak on it.
Well, I mean, because it's like, you know, the way that the game works sometimes is the people that you end up helping and they get into these positions, they'll turn around and hate on you. You know what I mean?
There's
like
a whole lot of that
to
shit.
try to like hold on to their little spot, but you're not a threat to them. You put them there. You don't want to destroy their brand. You want to help them. They're not doing well. It's like, let me help you. No, you're a threat to me because you're going to bring someone new in because I was new and you put me on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to revitalize your brand, not fuck you up.
Well, recently, recently Power just let Felli Fail go, right? Felli Fail has been around almost since the beginning.
Yeah.
Did you bring Felli in?
No, Jimmy brought him in, but I'm the one that hooked him. You know what I mean? He was coming from Texas and he had some second thoughts, and Jimmy had me call him, and
Felli,
I closed the
you
deal.
know, and you look at stuff like that. Felli was a dude that was at that radio station for 20 years.
And the way they fired him was fucked up.
20 years, man. And you know, Felli,
Didn't even let him finish his show, grab a box, and we're going to walk you out shit.
you know, the thing with Felli, Felli had a love, you know, Felli helped people, piss people off too. You ain't gonna be able to make everybody happy, but for the
I
most
piss
part,
people off every day.
yeah, but for the most part, Felli was a good dude. And if you brought him a record that he liked, he was gonna try to break it. He was gonna break it. Felli helped break a couple of my records. But the thing is, just to do a motherfucker like that, dog, that has been around you so long, like, hey, how would you feel if you showed up to this motherfucker one day, right? And I didn't call you, or nobody calls you to take you out to lunch, and you just show up here, and you just gone.
They're like, nigga, that's it. The ride is over.
You gotta treat motherfuckers better than that, though, dog.
You expect for motherfuckers to treat people better than that, but in this shrewd world of money and business, and there's somebody above you, I mean, some motherfuckers just ain't gonna give you the motherfucking dignity you deserve. You get me?
And this is Hollywood.
Yeah, we
You know what I mean? People act
watching for
funny.
that shit all day. Niggas been doing shit for 20, 30 years, and we still trying to get respect from motherfuckers to be considered like, nigga, I'm just like you. Don't.
That's all you want is decency. Just
Don't
be treated decent.
You
Just
know.
treat me with respect and don't lie to me.
Because, see, I'm not mad about the thing about him getting fired. That's just business, right? But to me, especially if motherfucker like, if it's a dude that's been up there for 6 months, you don't know if he gonna cuss everybody out on the air or whatever like that. Somebody like Felli, give him a chance to say bye.
And he's a good guy. You know he's not going to do some bullshit. But you pull him off the air before the end of his shift and start. I mean, dude, it's obvious that Morello, God bless him, is being fooled by these people. You know what I mean? The consultants and all this kind of stuff. Because how do you tank all of these stations and still have a job?
They're trying to keep their check going.
That's what I'm saying.
They're trying to keep their check going. You know, and I don't want to stay on color all night, man, because it's not important.
Right.
When do you think they decided to where this is how we go roll with things?
In what context?
Like, you know, with these consultants that you talk about, they actually run the station, right?
When I left.
I've never known no business to operate in that pretense to where if you not getting the numbers, everything's supposed to be based off analytics, right? If you're a rapper, you're not selling no records, they will tell you, hey, man, it's right here.
And
the
like
last 2 albums don't tank.
Definitely.
Numbers don't lie, people do.
Everything should be based off analytics. If you holding your shit down, you keep your job. Everybody happy. If you're not holding it down, you gotta go. It ain't nothing personal. It's just what it is, right?
100%.
It's just what it is, so.
And you go down for 20 years, and everybody is, I mean, they don't have a program director. Everybody has refused the job. Why? Because they don't want to work with those 3 motherfuckers that are in charge. You know what I mean?
Don't they have somebody over them?
I mean, the owner of the station, but they, I mean, obviously haven't got the picture that there's something rotten in, you know, your trash can and it's starting to smell.
Yeah, you know, you had a lot of motherfuckers hating on you too.
Oh, they still do.
You had a whole bunch of, and you came out
I'm
with,
finding that out.
yeah. Well, you know what? I remember, I didn't know you did the Sheist record at first. And that was
But
a
see,
smash
what people
record.
got fucked up about that is Sheist was signed to MS Broadcasting. And the first $1 million check was not to 50 Cent. It was to MS Broadcasting for Sheist.
Oh, so Shay was actually signed to the radio station?
Was signed to the radio station. It was my job to do it.
Oh, wow. You see, you opened up, we breaking news on here now. You remember that record, eh?
Yeah, I remember that.
Where I
record.
Want to Be,
Where
I
Wanna
produced
Be.
it, but it was Emmis's artist.
Oh, okay.
So when it all hell broke loose, they threw it on me.
Yeah,
they were
but see-
supposed to play the records, but I went through FCC. That's why I never got busted. Because I went through FCC attorneys and knew corporate was going to fuck me at some point.
Let me ask you this. How do a motherfucker get signed to the radio station? That's some shit, ain't it, eh?
Yeah, that's
Well, what happened? Well, it's kind of a long story, but I mean, Shade was a friend of mine, and I played a demo of it. They said because of the ratings and all this kind of stuff, and they saw me producing records for Mariah, Carey, and all these other people, they said, we want some of that money. So produce some records for us, and we'll play the records. We'll give you a salary.
Hey, would you
So I got $1 million deal out of the gate for them. And they didn't play the records. Power played the records, but not their other stations.
You think that was because they was hating, huh?
Oh, hell yes.
They'd have been better off
And
doing
then
that
they
shit and not
sent me
telling
to
them.
those stations to fix them when they fucked up.
So you had to go down there and tell them because that was a big-ass record,
They
dog.
sent me to Hot 97 to fix Hot 97 when Lil Kim shot it up, and then they had the game thing. They had Jay-Z going to Power 105 and the Breakfast Club and all this kind of stuff. Who do you think they sent to New York?
You had to go out there and hold it down.
I had to go pull Jay-Z off the competition. I had to go clean up the Atlantic Lil Kim mess, and do all of that. I mean, because people didn't, look, it's the same thing now that it was then. They didn't know the people to have the conversation to squash the shit.
Yeah, you got a relationship with everybody. And how did you start producing for Mariah Carey?
She came into the station one night and we just hit it off. And she just asked what else I do. I said, I've been making beats. She said, let me hear some. And then she heard that Willy Wonka shit and said, that can be the remix for I Still Believe. And that's how that started.
That's how that started. And you had actually pretty good friendship with her, too.
Yeah, we were cool.
He said we was cool.
Y'all was
we
cool.
was cool.
Miss, give me that smile.
He said we was cool.
Miss, you
Shit.
smiling like you hit that or
She's
something.
my friend.
You smiling like you tapped that ass,
I
man.
didn't- She was a wonderful person.
She's a wonderful person. She's a bad motherfucker. Nick Cannon ever have any beef with you over her?
Oh, no.
Huh?
I have nothing against Nick. Nick, I'm glad they had a good run.
They had a good, man. You produced on some big ass records, man, and you was fucking with everybody at that time, man.
It was fun.
I mean, everybody. So, and with the Sheist shit, man, that's a trip. You never find out the truth about shit that later on, because everybody and their mama swore up and down that was you that did that deal.
You know what, dude? What's fucked up is I get blamed for a lot of shit, and people take the credit for a lot of shit that I did. You know what I mean? I just never felt like, I just stayed quiet. Like with you, you never address beef.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like throughout your career, you have been a gentleman about that shit. Like you just try to stay out the fray.
I mean, because motherfuckers gonna have their opinions, and my beef thing went as far as it did over really just neighborhood gang shit. And then once I was able to, I ain't like on that page, I ain't riding around in the hood with the strap, with the rag out my pocket, I done went from that to a different level. So once that happened, I beef with niggas. Beef for what?
Yeah, it shouldn't be, especially.
I just wouldn't address it.
Especially in some rap shit.
Especially
nigga, I
this
ain't got no
time.
beef with no rap nigga. You get me?
Especially at this time, and you know what, Miz? It's almost like you was just born to do radio. You've been working in the radio since you was 12 years old.
Yeah.
How the fuck do a 12-year-old kid get a job, eh?
Very carefully.
Shit, I was a 14, 15-year-old kid hanging around, got introduced to a nigga who was a beat maker and a DJ at clubs, and he took me and Chill under his wing, nigga, and we was young niggas going to club. I mean, We was starting our rap career.
But that was mentorship.
But exactly, nigga, we go to the clubs, nigga, and we was too young to get in, but shit, nigga, we still be hiding out behind the DJs because we get there early, unload the trucks with the crates and all the records, and so by the time the club get to going, nigga, we already in that motherfucker.
And that was the
chilling.
same, you know, check this out though, but the same producer that took you under his wing as a little kid, you used the remainder of your career pretty much.
Oh yeah, man. Slip did 90% of my production throughout my MCHCM Dub career.
Loyalty.
That's just like
Mentorship, loyalty. Keep going, H.
Slip was Slip was a nigga who was you get me? He was there. He was known, LA Sound Control Mob. He knew Lonzo, Unknown. His pops had a business where they supplied all the speakers for all the concerts at World on Wheels or the convention center and shit. So when I got introduced to Slip, he was already in the world of hip hop. You know, he was a producer. He had done a lot of techno records. And he was a DJ.
And he was looking at shows.
DJ'd clubs like Water the Bush, Paradise, all that type of shit. I got to hang out at shit like that as a young kid.
And they got coached the fuck up. That's why their sound was polished.
Trying to transition from, because nigga, I was still in the hood, you know.
But you're soaking up game.
That is what made me go, oh, instead of catching the bus to the hood today, I'm finna catch the bus over here to Gardena and go chill with them niggas. They had a 4-track in the studio and nothing but a gang of speakers and DJ equipment. To me, I was fascinated by that shit.
And you were staying out the way.
Yeah.
It didn't mean shit when we was up at 3 o'clock in the morning wrapping up chords and shit. And then we stop at Tommy Burgers downtown LA and slip by everybody burgers and shit. Like, to me, nigga, that shit was everything. And I was a young kid, didn't want to go to school, none of that shit.
Hey, same shit.
Mizza, you know, some of this business we talking, that's a movie I want to do, dog.
Sure.
I want to do that. I want to do the CM Dub story, and I'm really on one of my missions for 2024 back. I'll share something with y'all, and it just kind of hit me again last week. You know, I was in the hospital last week. I talked to you. We supposed to do this interview last week. We supposed to start the season up last week. I couldn't even physically call 8 and them and tell them I wasn't coming. I was so bad I had to, you know, shoot a text out and say, man, like I can't do it. You know, I'm in the hospital. But it made me realize we need to take control of our own stories, man. And we need to tell our own stories so people not written out of history, because a story should be written from a factual standpoint. Like when they wrote, like if somebody ever writes a story about the Gangster Chronicles, I want every part of it told, the good, the bad, you know, like everything.
Exactly.
Well, part of the reason or how I've just come back on social media, and you know, over the last couple weeks, you know, I've hit about 1 million people, and how I did it was I was watching the what's that Dr. Dre movie with Jimmy Iovine, the whatever, I forgot the name of it, but whatever it is, and they were telling the story.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they were
the Defiant ones.
Yeah, the Defiant ones.
Yeah,
and I'm
dope.
like, oh shit, that's how that happened? And I'm like, well, they sure missing a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
I'm saying. People have a tendency to rewrite history to
what
suit
I
it to
said
their
was
needs, you know?
rewriting the narrative.
Right.
And what keeps rap legendary is always been the narrative. You know what I'm saying? It's a story. You know what I mean? What you're saying about the beginning, middle, and end. Well, what they do is cut out everybody else and say, we did this ourselves, so that they can keep the narrative on themselves. They're not going to tell you that Jimmy called me and said, hey, you know what I mean? Don't do this. You know what I mean? But what would have happened to Dre's career if I would have taken that call?
Exactly.
Where would Dre and Snoop be right now?
Probably
Think how much
probably not even
people
talking
made
to each
so
other.
much money off of that. How many jobs did that create?
Exactly. Now you think about Dr. Dre, right? How many artists he don't work with that he just don't work with no more, and they wherever they at. I don't know their personal relationships or whatever like that, but they could have stayed not talking to each other.
And that was the thing. He said, when I first went to him and said, would you work with Snoop again? Well, I just haven't talked to him in a long time, but I'll put that motherfucker back on. And then Snoop said the exact same thing about Dre. So I just put them in the room together. Because it always comes down to some ego shit. This Hollywood bullshit of, oh, I love you, but I won't return your call. Because I don't want to have...
It's that bullshit.
It's that bullshit. Because they're guilty. They feel guilty because you did so much shit for them. They don't know how to say thank you. But they're being assholes. So do I say sorry? Do I say I love you? You know what I mean? Like, and it turns into some bullshit. And it's just like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here for that shit. Let's work. Let's get some shit done. Hip hop's fucked up.
For real.
A lot of that goes back to, again, the egos of the walks of life that you came from. You know, niggas feeling like, you know, I gotta represent a certain gangsterism or hardness to something as simple with, yeah, tell that nigga to call me. You get me?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder how he's doing. Let me give him a call.
You know, really it'd be just the ego of, really our downfall was really because of something else outside of, it was nothing really personal, so.
Well, you know, we all make mistakes. We all say stupid shit. We all do dumb things sometimes, but, you know, it is what it is.
Definitely.
Get over it.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes. If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.